four, three, two, one.
Good day, everyone. My name is An-Nazir, and I'm a part of Academic Skills Group 7. Today, my team and I are excited to present on the iconic 1989 film, Dead Post Society. Let's begin. Prep them, size the day, boys. Make a life extraordinary. John Cutting used this press to inspire his students to improve their lives. The film was directed by Peter Witter and starring Robin Williams as professional as Professor John Cuthing. The film follows a new teacher at the Strick Wilton Academy. Through his unconventional teaching methods, he encourages his students to break free from the school rigidity and live their lives to the fullest. The film is both inspiring and sentimental, largely due to Robin Williams' performance. He brings energy and a touch of madness to the role. What elevates this movie to greatness is its sense of realism, acknowledging that a newfound cryptic attitude won't instantly change your life for the better. Now that you have set the stage with our introduction, let's devolve into the heart of our discussion with a plot summary of Dead Post Society. Understanding the storyline will provide a foundation for exploring the deeper themes and messages of the film.
Hello, I'm Mamadou and I'm happy to present my part, which is the plus summary. So, before I start, I gonna say hi to all my group members, who is Mustafa, El Nazir, and Aisha. So, let's start. So, to deep inside the plus summary of this movie, Dead Poet Society, we can say that. We know that Dead Poet Society is a beautiful movie set in a traditional and conservative Welton Academy, a prestigious school known for its rich environment. So the story of this movie center on Mr. Keating, who is an English teacher who stand out with his passion and unconventional teaching methods. Uh, Through poetry and non-traditional exercises, Mr. Keating inspire his students to think for themselves, pursue their passion, and seize the day. So the movie delved deeply into the students' struggle with societal expectation and parental pressure. Among the unique character is we have Ned Perry, who is a talented and passionate actor, and also have Todd Anderson, who is a shy student who embodies conflict between personal aspiration and external demands. We can say we have the students form. So the students form the Deaf Poets Society, with a secret club that become a sanctuary for exploring poetry and philosophy of life. As their bond with Mr. Keating grows stronger, they face increasing challenges from the school traditional bodies, leading to a dramatic standoff. The climax of the film is both tragic and powerful, highlighting the consequences of surprising one true self and showcasing Mr. Keating's profound impact in fostering a love of learning. So, overall, we can say that Dead Boy Society is a beautiful and elegant exploration of an indomitable human spirit and transformative power of education. So that was all for my part, which was the plot summary. So I'm gonna let my friend to finish our presentation. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mustafa, and having summarized the plot, we can see that communication plays a pivotal role throughout the film. Next, we'll explore the various types of communication showcased in Dead Poet Society and how they impact the characters and their relationships. We're going to talk about three or more types of communication, starting with verbal. It is the most common mean of communication used by everyone in the movie. It has been conveyed in the aspect of speeches or dialogues. Great examples for this mean of verbal communication are when Mr. Keating introduced himself to his students using the Latin sentence carpe diem. He said, "Carpe diem, lads, seize the day, make sure your life's extraordinary." He used his words to push his pupils to live passionately and follow their destiny. Also, the way he says it in the movie conveys importance. When talking about verbal, we also must put it together with nonverbal communication. People say that eyes understand more than ears. In the movie, we can divide the usage of nonverbal communication in body language and facial expressions. One of the most memorable moments and one of my favorites in the movie where Mr. Keating stood on his desk to illustrate how important it is seeing things from a different perspective is. It strongly informs the students about the idea of Mr. Keating that one must break away from conditioned points of view to truly understand others. It is by far one of my favorite parts. Now on to facial expressions. A great example of this is Todd's nervous reactions throughout the movie, especially during the poetry exercise. His reluctant face as he is being pushed to express his thought is noticeable. How his face transforms from this blue and scared face to this confident and brilliant one. He conveyed the journey from fear and doubt to realization and confidence. Next, we'll talk about written communication. The best example of this, in my opinion, is poetry. It's a very poetic movie, it's in the name. Todd's poem that he wrote, and then later, after encouragement, a huge encouragement from Mr. Keating, was turned into verbal communication. The poet's name was Sweaty Toothed Madman, is a personal favorite of mine. Another form of written communication in the movie was notes. How Neil's letter to ask to act in the play is a great example. Or we could say that it's a fake one, if we do say so ourselves, as he wrote it on behalf of his father to Mr. Keating to gain permission to act in the Midsummer Night's Dream. Another type that I think we should talk about, which is as highly important as the others, is group communication. A great or the best example of this is the Dead Poets Society meeting. The reading of poetry in the cave and how each member takes turn in reading and discussing thoughts and emotions in a group, and the collective rise against the oppression of ideas. Class discussions are also a great example of this type of communication. While the types of communication in Dead Poet Society are diverse and impactful, the characters also face significant barriers to effective communication. Let's examine these barriers and understand how they shape the narrative and the characters' interactions.
Um, Hello, my name is Nora Shawardia, and I'm going to talk about the barriers of communication in the movie. There are three types of barriers of communication found in the movie. First is traditionalism versus innovation. This is found when John Keating's inventive tactics are separated from the administration at Welton Academy by the school's inflexible and conventional ideals. Then, Keating's non traditional style is in opposition to the school's rigid devotion to standard teaching methods. Next, parental expectation. This is when Mr. Paris and other parents' strict expectation and authoritarian attitudes hinder communication between parents and their kids. Tragic events result from Neil Sperry's inability to express to his fathers about his actual passion and wants. And the last barriers of communication is fear of authority. This happens when open and honest communication is obstructed by the students' fears of authority figures, including their parents and also headmasters, Mr. Nolan. And then their inability to communicate their actual ideas and feelings is a result of this anxiety, which obstruct their personal growth. And by analyzing the barriers of communication in the film, we've gained insight into the challenge of character face. To wrap up our review, we'll summarize our key findings and reflect on the overall message of Dead Poet Society in our conclusion. That's all from my part. Thank you.
In conclusion, there are various forms of communication, whether through powerful speech, expressive body language, or the written word, can inspire and transform. The movie's main message is to recognize that our lives have limits, and we must live authentically and satisfactorily, without being convinced by sometimes absurd rules. It also teaches us that seizing the day does not mean behaving irresponsibly or making a reckless decision just for fun.
So thank you everyone. This was Group 7's presentation. I hope that you enjoyed it and please join us for any questions. We will be happy to answer all of them. And thank you everyone. This is Mustafa.
This is Momodunya.
This is Aisha.
And this is Olivia.
All right, thank you,
We
guys.
all
We'll see you everyone.